good now on my end. So we're going to start by sketching a kite Ki. I'm KITE. So here's the kite. We go a little further. Yeah, that's not going to be a good representation here. Here's Ki, and then Ti. Okay. No, Ki. All right. Sorry, I gotta draw this differently now. Okay. There's a lot of ways you can draw. Boy, that is not. I'm having one of those days where I'm not getting it to go the way I want here. No, I don't want any of those things. I want to go back to here. Okay. The you got to be able to draw the kite, and here's a kite, for example. There's some properties about kites that are really important, like this is a right angle. If Ki is congruent to Ti, that means that like this is congruent to this. So this is Ki, and this is Ti here, and then the E would be over here. Sketch the diagonals of the kite. Based on your sketch, you would see that the diagonals meet at 90 degrees. So that's kind of a big deal there. That's like a big property. So is that okay? I'm not sure what else to say about that one. That's kind of all there is. Okay. B here. All right, so I'm going to snip this in. What's interesting is the next one is about a trapezoid, which actually has nothing to do with kites at all. So I don't know why it's part B, but it is. So it says if EF is the mid segment, that means that it's the average of the top and the bottom. That's what this is supposed to be saying over here. It's an average. I think it's kind of so it's 10 plus 2x. That's the top plus the bottom, and then you're dividing it by 2, and that equals whatever this number is here in the middle. So equals 7. So you have to be able to solve this. And sometimes when you get into geometry, you forget how to solve things that are, fairly straightforward. To clear the bottom, you have to multiply the top and bottom by 2. So that's 10 plus 2x equals 14. Subtract 10 from both sides. You get 2x equals 4, so x equals 2. That's the first thing they want, but then they want to know the measure of C to D, the length of C to D. So we know that C to D is 2 times x, 2 times 2 is 4. That's not right. Oh, it is right. Okay. So the reason I said that it wasn't right is because I didn't realize that they had drawn this. This is drawn not to scale, but really DC is smaller than AB. Not sure why they chose to present it that way, but they did. So I don't. If you don't know this formula, you'd have to memorize it. If you're not sure if you're given it, you'll have to memorize it. So on. Is part C the sum of the interior angles?
Yeah.
Okay. The pictures came in an order that isn't all that clear. So that's why I asked. Great. The sum of the interior angles of a regular polygon equals that. Okay, so the sum, and I usually like to use S, is the number of sides minus 2 times 180 degrees. Have you seen that formula before?
Yes.
Okay. The That's what they're giving you here. That's what this 2160 is. So you're setting 2160 equal to n minus 2 times 180. You're definitely allowed to use a calculator here. I want you to divide 2160 by 180. Well, I assume you are. That you would know though for sure. If you are, grab a calculator and take 2160 and divide it by 180.
I got 12.
So 12 equals n minus 2. You have to make sure that you remember, oh yeah, I got to add 2 to that. So the number of sides is 14. All right, the exterior angles. The exterior angle, so this is the sum. I should have been more specific, sorry. This is really the sum of the interior angles. The sum of the exterior angles, which I'd like to use, I'll use a different letter, I'll use E, is always 360. The sum is always 360. So if you want to know the angle, the exterior angle, you have to take 360 and divide it by n. So to find the exterior angle, you're going to take 360. Why is it doing that now? Appears I'm having some more technical issues. I'm trying to restart my application. Paige, Hey Paige, did you get disconnected or what happened?
I got disconnected for a second.
Okay. This is, I mean, I'm sure I would hate hearing this for you. Like, I've actually never had this happen before. For some reason, the program I'm using is just like, nope, not going to work. I really don't want to restart the lesson, but okay. Let's try this one more time here. Let's try. I'm going to open up my screen and hopefully this just works. Okay, we'll start the sharing again here. Share screen. So where we left off is that the sum is always 360. So the exterior angle E is 360 divided by the number of sides. So you're going to take your 14 that you found and grab your calculator again. That's what you're going to calculate.
It would be 25.7.
Yes. All right. I need to just make a slight adjustment here. It should help. Be right back. All right, I'm back. So any questions on those two formulas or anything unclear about that?
No?
All right, let's move on to D. ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay, I'm pasting it into our workspace. Find the value of X and the length of AD. So the perimeter of the whole thing, they're giving the whole thing to walk around. They're giving a formula for that. Because it's a parallelogram, you know that CB is congruent to AD and that 63 is congruent to DC. So we can sort of redraw it here with that information in mind. If this is 63, then this is 63. If the right side is 4x plus 3, then the left side must also be 4x plus 3. If we add all of these up, so if you add all these up, so that's 4x plus 3 plus 4x plus 3 plus 63 plus 63, that equals 16x minus 12. So it's like they're telling you that the whole thing is that, but these other things also add up to that, the sides themselves. Give that a try, please, and see what you get for that. Paige, I didn't realize you got booted again. I am recording this, so there'll be a video afterwards. Let me check my internet connection. Mine looks pretty stable. Are you in a good place for this tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you can
Mine's
see,
stable too.
yes. I mean, there's many reasons why this could happen. I'll just keep working through this. So we're going to combine 4x and 4x. That's 8x. 3 and 3, 63 and 62. So this gives you 126. And then 3 more. So plus 132 equals 16x minus 12. If I add the 12 over here, I get 144. If I subtract the 8x, I get 8x. Divide both sides by 8, you end up getting x equals 16. So to find AD, you have to put this number 16 back into the 4x plus 3. So that's 4 times 16 plus 3. So that's 64 plus 3, which is 67. If there's more than just these two questions, you definitely want to send it over because we'll be through these, in the next 10, 15 minutes or so. If there's not any questions on that, I'm going to move to 2A. Okay. Moving to 2A.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This one is a proof. This is a proof. It says use the diagram below and the corresponding angles 2 and 6 to prove that alternate interior angles 3 and 6 are congruent. Okay, so they give you, the given is here, line L and M are parallel with transversal of L and M. And you're supposed to prove that alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay. So whenever you're going down the road of a proof, and maybe we're supposed to know that there's only 4 parts to this. Does that seem reasonable? Does the instructor only give you room for whatever you need? I'm asking because it like if I don't want to get too complicated if there's more than this. So if that's the case, you can actually fill in the last statement here. Angle 3 is congruent to angle 6. We don't know why, but they are, and we'll get to that. So the fact that they're parallel, that it's given, you have to do something with that information. So for example, they tell you that angles 2 and 6 are corresponding angles, and we know that for example, like angle 2 equals angle 3 and angle 6 equals angle 7. Do you follow that? 2 and 3 are the same, and 6 and 7 are the same. Why are they the same?
Yeah.
So we can say that, well, let's go with what they're telling us. Angle 2 and angle 6 are corresponding. The reason is because L is parallel with M, and that's a definition of that. So a lot of times you use the word definition in your proof, in your reason, like it's a common accepted thing. You can also say now that angle 2 is congruent to angle 3 and angle 6 is congruent to angle 7. That's because vertical angles are congruent. So this is where it gets a little bit dicey. Like it's like, you know that 2 is congruent to 3 and you know that 6 is congruent to 7. Well, since 2 and 6 are equal, they're actually, since they're corresponding, that means they're actually congruent. That means that 3 and 6 are congruent. The reason, I mean, it's a substitution here would be acceptable for me. I'm not really sure what your instructor would want here, but usually it's some sort of a algebraic property here. So in this case, substitution is a good one, because like if 3 takes the place of 2 and 7 takes the place of 6, I'm sorry, yeah, then you get the then you get that the angles are congruent. All right, find the measures of angles A, B, and C. That is kind of the last one here. I don't like the way this. Oh, I see. Okay. Is there anything beyond this?
No.
Okay. One of the problems is I can't see the entire picture. Do you know what A refers to? Is A like all of this?
Yeah.
What about B? Like because I see C here. What's B pointing to? Because it looks like this comes down and there.
Do you want me to resend you a picture?
Yeah, but why don't you do that? Probably best.
Okay, I sent it over.
Okay. All right, got a better picture here. Yes, this is much better. Although my guess is the instructor. There's something not quite right about this because you can see that B and C point to the same place. So my guess is that B is really supposed to be down here, and A is really like here, because A and C have the same letter variable, and that's the only way you can probably do it. So what kind of angles are A and B? This is a transversal, and these lines are parallel. So this is what you proved in the previous problem. A and B are what are called alternate interior angles, and they are congruent. So if they're congruent, you can set A equal to B. So that's -2 parentheses 42 minus 10x equals 2x plus 44. And you can solve for x. So to do that, what most students would do here is they distribute this -2. -84 plus 20x equals 2x plus 44. If you add 84 to both sides and subtract 2x, you end up getting 18x equals 28. Divide both sides by 18, and it doesn't look like that works out nicely. Because 18 times 5 is 90 and 38. So what did I do wrong here? Do you see anything? 2x plus 44. Sorry, I'm just going to check that you're still connected here. You are, okay.
I don't see anything wrong.
Yeah, I don't either. Like it's you know, that we don't, the numbers don't have to work out, but like in this case, you know, you kind of feel like they should. One reason is because you actually have to use this value in the next part of the problem. Gosh, yeah, these instructors. Let's do this. It's possible that B is actually corresponding to A. Let's just go through that one, and that would well, that would do the same thing. I was thinking, well, maybe they add up to 180. So let's try that. Let's try 2x plus 44 plus -2 times 42 minus 10x equals 180. We'll talk about why this is right if it actually works here. So it's -84 plus 20x equals 180. These two together give you -44. 22x equals 180. So if you add this, you get 224. And I don't think that goes in there either. So strange. Like the numbers should work out better. I guess this is right. Did you end up calculating what 128 divided by 18 is?
Yeah, look again at it. It's 7.1.
Yeah, but it's not exact, right? So, okay, so let's say x is 7.1. Well, you've got to use that back here in part part A. And so to get the measure of angle A, you have to take that 7.1 and put it back into this expression. So it's -2 times 42 minus 10 times 7.1. So that's 71. 42 minus that is what, 19, -19. So this is about 38 degrees. And if you know that these two are congruent, well, then you know that's also 38 degrees. But the measure of angle C, the C and B, C comma B here, they are on a straight line. So they sum to 180 degrees. So it's measure of angle C plus 38 has to equal 180. Another problem here that's I mean, it's not really, it could just be an illusion here. A and B look like they're obtuse angles. And the angle we just found, 38, is obviously an acute angle. So there's a lot going on here wrong. You're at Catalina Foothills, is that right? I asked because they've had
Yeah.
issues with this class for years. Like there's just weird things going on that aren't good. When you solve for C here, C is 142 degrees. So that is, I mean, that's everything that you sent. Is there something more you can send for us to work on or to look at?
Let me double check. I think there's one more.
Okay, go ahead and send it over, and
Everything
we'll
good.
get started on it.
Yeah. Okay, I sent it over.
Okay, thank you. All right, got it. Okay, for the coordinates of the vertices, okay, got it. Graph the triangle. Okay. we can do this. Okay, let's just graph the points here. 0, 1 is there, 0, 5 is there, and 4, 5 is there. What's nice is that they've actually given you a right triangle here. They've given you a nice right triangle. When they give you a right triangle, what you can do is you can actually just count. You do not have to use the distance formula. So just count from the vertex here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is side length 4. This has side length 4, just counting in 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, though, is not 4. It might look like 4, but that last one you do have to do the vertex formula, or I'm sorry, the distance formula for A, B, C. So the distance formula is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared square rooted. Now, we're going from A to C. So this is like x1, y1, and then x2, y2. So it's going to be like 4 minus 0 squared plus 5 minus 1 squared square rooted. So you have to subtract and then square first. So this is going to be 4 squared, 4 squared. Again, you have to square first. This is going to be 16 plus 16. You have to add first. So this becomes the square root of 32. Do you remember how to break that apart?
Not quite.
Okay, so you break it out into what's called its prime factorization. So like start with 2. 2 times 16, 2 times 8, 2 times 4, 2 times 2. These are all prime numbers on the leaves here. So you circle pairs. For each pair, you bring a number out. So for this pair, you bring a 2 out. For this pair, you bring a 2 out, and you square root whatever is left over for square root 2. So that the reason we did all that, again, was to find the distance of the hypotenuse, which is 4 square root 2. Is the triangle isosceles? We can say, yes, it is, because 2 of the 3 sides are the same. So the answer is yes. And you can say it's because AB is 4 and BC is 4 and AC is 4 square root 2. Since these two are the same, it's isosceles.
Okay.
Okay, sketch and label altitude BD on your graph, then find the equation of altitude BD. So I'm going to actually grab the picture again because it's got a lot of distracting lines and equations and stuff on there. We want to have something fresh and clean to look at to work on here. So I'm going to graph the points again. There's A, there's B, there's C. So this time they want this line right here. I think we worked on this quite a bit last time we met. We're doing part D on this one. So you have to find the slope. You have to find the slope of this one right here. You could use rise over run. I'd probably use that because you're graphing it here. So you go up 4 over 4, which equals 1. You really want the slope perpendicular. The slope perpendicular is the flip of the number, flip, and then the negative of it. So when you flip 1 over 1, it's 1 over 1, but then you negate it, which becomes negative 1. So that's the first thing. It did say to label it. There's B, there's D. Okay, that part's done. The equation of the line. So for an equation of a line, we need a slope and a point. The point we're going to use is B because it's given. Like we don't have to do anything with it, 0, 5. I prefer point slope form, but slope intercept form would work pretty well here because they give you the intercept. So we have y minus 5 equals your slope. That's your slope there. -1, x minus 0. This one probably is worth simplifying. So you get -x, and then you add 5 to both sides. You get -x plus 5.
Okay.
There's a little bit of a delay in getting the video up. Sometimes it's like 5 minutes, and then sometimes it takes like 30 minutes, and I'm in another lesson. But is there anything you want me to scroll up to get the notes for before we close out here?
No, I think I have all.
Okay, for sure you'll have it by 9. So
Okay.
if you need anything, it'll be there shortly.
Okay.
All right. Well, sorry about all the technical difficulties. I appreciate you booking, and I hope your exam works out, and I'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye.